What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're new to your list for Rise from Ashes on Scythe of Amon. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Scythe of Amon is the map where we have to destroy 5 void slivers pre-placed on the map before timer runs out. Each void sliver we destroy adds more time, and gives more powers to the remaining ones. Void reanimators spawn from enemy buildings. They continuously revive fallen enemies and send them to your base. Enemies explode upon death. Lava erupts all around the map.
We have Eviling and Edwin home in the call with us today. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Alright.
Could be better.
Aren't we all? Eviling, how do we rank the commanders this week?
This week, there's a lot of environmental and things that die on death. Things that die on death. That's going to cause a lot of issues. And you have void. One of the biggest threats is void reanimators. So finding them, but trying to find them while dealing with all the environmental and the self-destruction is going to be problematic. So commanders that have good means of vision that could potentially work from home and good vision and working from home and potentially replaceable army will definitely do better.
Alright. What do you think, Edwin home?
Yeah, it's largely about the void reanimators. Lava burst is a little bit more annoying because you do have to be potentially looking in multiple places at once, dealing with void reanimators. But then you got to keep an eye on your main army if they're out amongst the lava bursts. Being able to have like 2 different armies, like even just a hero unit in one spot and your army in the other to deal with void reanimators while still pushing is definitely very helpful. But yeah, basically just the smaller your army is and the better it is at splitting, it's usually going to be better.
Alright, that makes sense. Let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
Abathur is pretty good this week. He has the ability to deep tunnel with the Brutalisks, and they're also very high health. And that allows them to, kind of get on top of the Void Reanimators quite quickly. They're pretty good at pushing. They're not going to die to Lava Burst too easily as long as you're keeping somewhat of an eye on them. And you have things like Queens to be able to heal them up with Transfusion. So he's pretty good. You do have a slightly harder time getting your Brutalisks out with things like Lava Burst and Self-Destruction, but it shouldn't stop you. So as long as you can get your Brutalisks out at an early time, you'll be doing very well, I think. And then you can just have some Swarm Hosts at home as well to just kind of deal with any trickle units from Reanimators, which is very helpful as well. So I actually had him in S tier.
S tier. What do you think, Eviling?
Yeah, I have Abathur to SA. All good points. The only thing I would like to add upon that is if you do have to pay attention to something else and you have your Brutalists or your army out on the field, just send them back to your Expo or your main. Especially if it's your Brutalist, just deep tunnel them back. The deep tunnel is on a 10-second cooldown. It's not gonna matter too much if you use it or not. Just keep them safe because just a couple seconds in lava burst and your brutalist will just melt. Leviathans, you could be making them in this mutation, but I think it's better just to stick to brutalist and swarm host for this. So yeah, stay.
S2A. Okay, both of you had Abathur in S. Let's put an S. Prestige-wise, which one do you want? No prestige.
P2.
Second one. Okay.
Yeah, P0 or P2. Yeah.
All right. So 0 or second one. Let's move on. Alarak, where do we have him?
Alarak will kind of struggle with this, especially if you're going P3. Mothership is a huge hitbox target, so it's very, very susceptible to Lavaverse and also very, very susceptible to self-destruction. So yeah, one good thing that Alarak has going for him is his when he waves his hands, that just forces things away. So it kind of helps mitigate self-destruction to a certain extent. But yeah, when you have void reanimators roaming about, you do have a recall with a teleport with your mothership, but void reanimators come up quickly enough that it's going to be taxing that. So you're going to be having to split your attention multiple ways. Alarak I have from B to C.
B to C. What do you think, Edmund?
Yeah, I had him in B. I do think the lava bursts you got to be pretty careful with, but they can be avoided. The main problem is he doesn't really have great vision options. Like a lot of Protoss commanders, you can just throw up some observers over the dead space around the push pads and get some vision for when the void reanimators are coming in and get ahead of them potentially. But he doesn't really have that unless you want to put invisible havocs and hold position them or something, which doesn't sound like a good plan to me.
Not a great plan.
So with that, yeah, he's just not going to do great on the vision side of things, and that's a big help when dealing with void reanimators. And while he does have good armies, if you don't dodge lava bursts with them, they will die extremely quickly, especially if you're going like destroyers or something like that. So yeah, I had him in B tier.
All right, so both of you had him in B tier. Let's put Alarak in B tier. Prestige-wise, third one, right? Or do you want not third one?
Yeah, I'd say third.
All right.
Recall's nice.
Moving on to someone who is not B tier, Arcturus. Where do we have him?
Arcturus is great. You can use ESOs to clear pretty much all of the rifts. I guess you can't clear the very last top left one, but you can also just use an army for that potentially. You don't want to go too heavy on troopers. I'd say pretty heavy on the Royal Guard because they're a lot denser space-wise, so they're less likely to get lava bursted. It makes it easier to dodge self-destruction as well, and they also don't care as much about self-destruction because they have the increased health pool. Void reanimators, it's not great to deal with them with ESOs, but things like Pride of August grads, if you can get a couple of those out, can obviously teleport right on top of the void reanimator and then just triple tap them, so that's nice. He's got a lot of different options that you can go for, and his top bars are excellent at this map. Nuclear annihilation is basically just kill one shard. And a 100 energy Dogs of War is mostly just kill one shard as well. Although sometimes they just insist on clumping up into the electrical burst from the shards. But if they don't do that,
The blue fart.
you'll be having a good time. So I had him in S tier.
Okay, what do you think, Eviling?
Yep, Arcturus. He has the pass from the boss. Say you can work from home all you want, and I'll pay you double salary. He's definitely real good on this mission. I would highly suggest doing the reverse clear. So
Thank you.
if you can
Artani.
start with the first shard or the first void sliver being the top left one, and then if you can nail that one, pretty much all the others will be easily felled. If you nail the top one and you do secure your expo, pretty much if you build your ESOs near the top expansion, pretty much you can hit all the other shards from there and just complete work from home. Arcturus has good defenses, so dealing with void reanimators shouldn't be too big of a deal. You're gonna have a lot of trickles coming to your base, but he has pretty good defenses. SA.
Okay, let me teach you guys how to do the reverse clear. What you do is, first, you get double gas at 19 supply, and then you get an engineering bay, and then you rush out the drop pod upgrade, and then you don't use the second bunker. You save up the second bunker for when you have 25 energy. You don't drop it at the top left shard. You drop it at the bottom left shard, because that one is also annoying to push into if for your ally. Plus, if you snipe that bottom left shard first, the top left shard is also still very easy to snipe after that. Whereas if you go reverse, or if you go top left first, the bottom left is harder to snipe because there will be more units that will get aggroed by a bunker if you put it on the bottom left. Here's what you do. You drop a bunker at these specific spots. I'll probably have them on the screen. And then you unload the bunker, turn all those troopers into the green rocket troopers, load them back inside. The original trooper you dropped will be a repair guy in case anything gets by. you drop the shard at the bottom left, and then you do the same at this spot. I'll have it on the screen, on the top right, or top left rather. And then once that goes down, you gather 100 biomass, 100 mandate, all while building Earth Splitters in your base. And then once you have 100 mandate, you nuclear annihilation the top center Void Sliver. So the remaining 2 Void Slivers are the expansion one and the bonus one, and the first bonus one. And those 2 are easily reachable by Earth Splitters from inside your main base. You don't have to leave your base. Well, at least most of you guys don't. But yes, that's why Arcturus is that high. But yes, eventually we did hit the nail on the head. Oh, by the way, the reason why I believe Arcturus is higher than S this week is because he has a second almost fail-proof strategy. You can still stay in your base, and what you do is gather 100 mandate, drop any of the first 3 shards that I mentioned. Just drop nuclear annihilation on the far 3 shards, and again, the last 2 shards are easily reachable by Earth Splitters. So you have 2 options as Arcturus that will each have him at S tier. Higher than S tier even. So yes, that's why he is S tier. Moving on. Arcturus, Artanis, where do we have him?
Artanis. So this week he's actually not too bad because with P3 you have Solar Bombardment, you have Unbound Fanatics, and they're great at helping take down shards in a remote fashion. The main thing is, unlike Arcturus, he doesn't have easy ways to get vision. You don't have the ability to drop pod a trooper in and be inhumane, and it's like, oh, okay, you got vision, now I can drop a nuclear annihilation or solar bombardment on that. He has to sneak in an observer or use a Phoenix or something, or ally, to get into there. So it's not as easy, but he can kind of work from home and focus on the objectives, just not as cleanly. So A to B.
A to B. What do you think, Edmund Home?
Yeah, he'll do all right this week. Yeah, I mean, not much else to add. I had him in B tier.
All right. Both of you guys had him in B tier. Let's put him in B tier. Prestige-wise, 3rd one. Right?
Yeah, so.
Yep.
Actually, I'm a little confused as to why we have him in B tier. Because Artanis is also one of those commanders that can just hyper-cheese this map. Yes, you do need vision, but it's easy to rush to a Phoenix or an Observer. And if you know how to do it, you can easily do a reverse clear similar to Arcturus, where you just drop the Archon dudes and a Solar Bombardment. The cooldown for a Solar Bombardment is 5 minutes. And the time extension by destroying a Void Sliver is also 5 minutes. So theoretically, you can just, as long as you hit the first Solar Bombardment timing, you can hit all of them. And for the last 2, I think you won't have enough. I think Solar Bombardment won't have enough juice to bring down the last 2 shards on its own. So that's why you save up Archon dudes on the close 2 shards. You do a similar route as Arcturus, bottom left first, and then top left, and then center, and save the last 2, the close 2 for last, so that you can push in with whatever army you have on those last 2. But you guys are really sure with B?
I'm more inclined for A, because in my mind he's one tier below Arcturus.
Okay then. So we're moving him to A, or
so S then.
Because this is one of the few times.
I think he's A, not S.
This is one of the few times where Artanis doesn't go straight to double S. On Skytop AO Mutations, we have 3 guys in automatic double S: Arcturus, Artanis, and Karax. This is weird that we're only putting Artanis in A. There has to be a good reason. Is he really weak against Void Reanimators? Because he auto-cheeses this map.
He doesn't have as good defenses. He auto-cheeses, but he still has to defend himself somehow.
Okay. Again, it's your tier list, not mine. I'm just saying, normally those 3 guys go straight to double S because they can hyper-cheese this map. But yes, it's your tier list, not mine. So let's put Artanis in A tier. Let's move on. Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka's pretty good this week. No easy cheese or anything, but he's just very strong. Pack leaders do get hurt by lava burst, but most of the time you're able to dodge it, so it's not that huge of a deal. And most of the time, by the time they do get hit by it, they've already kind of wiped everything off the face of the earth. He's pretty strong this week. Obviously, creeper hosts as well. I mean, are almost cheesing it, not quite, but creeper hosts do quite well as well. So, and Dehaka himself does very well against void reanimators. So, I did not quite have him in S tier, but I did have him in A.
What do you think, Eviling?
Yeah, I think in my opinion, it's kind of like the argument for Tychus P2 and Phoenix P2, where we call Phoenix P2 Tychus Light. Dehaka is kind of like Arcturus Light. So yeah, getting the top left shard is going to be a little problematic for Dehaka, but I mean, pack leaders are that strong. It's not going to be too much of an issue, even if you don't take out that shard in as one of the first, second, or third shard sliver. So A to B.
All right, both of you have Dehaka in A. Let's put Dehaka in A. Prestige-wise, second one.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Phoenix, where do we have him?
Phoenix, he's a little clunky on this. He's just gonna have to straight up brawl through the map, kind of just play it normal. But he has very strong champions, so brawling it through the map is not going to be that much of an issue. So it's definitely not S, but I have him from kind of, I think I'm debating A to B or B to C. I think he's a little better than Alarak, so A to B.
A to B. What do you think, Espenholm?
Yeah, Phoenix does decently well against void reanimators. He can have a pretty small army, so you're not worried too much about things like lava burst, and his army is relatively quick. Obviously, Caldalis, you can kind of just right click onto a void reanimator, and next thing you know, it's gone. So I think he's pretty good this week. I had him in A tier.
Okay, both of you have Phoenix in A tier. Let's put Phoenix in A tier. Prestige-wise, second one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. Han and Horner, where do we have him?
Han and Horner have bomber platforms, which are okay. They're not exactly going to kill the slivers very quickly, but they do deal damage. They can help with things like void reanimators somewhat. But they're obviously still, at the end of the day, Han and Horner. Most of their army is, very large, and going to have a bit of a hard time dodging lava burst if you're not looking. Yeah, they're okay. I had them in C tier.
C tier. What do you think, Eviling?
Yeah, strike platforms are okay. They um they do Peasley damage against the slivers. One good thing they have going for them is their Thelia Ravens. So the Thelia Ravens, they act kind of like sensor towers in ladder, where it paints the target and it kind of helps you figure out where the part of the void reanimators is, figuring out where are they coming from, where are they reviving stuff, and it'll be pretty apparent if you pay attention to the mini map or pay attention to just the map itself and see oh, there's a bunch of units coming up from this one unit. Him and her. B to C.
B to C. So what are we doing? B or C?
C tier.
C.
C.
Okay, both of you had him in C.
Yep.
Let's put Han and Horner in C. Karax, where do we have him?
Karax, we already mentioned it. He's pretty much up there with Arcturus. He does have the issue of the Artanis issue of how do you get vision up there, but he has the better issue of he has good defenses. So protecting against void reanimators is going to be pretty easy for him. Repair beam is going to be great to help mitigate stuff against self-destruction. And yeah, S to A.
What do you think, Epnholm?
Yeah, I mean, he's extremely good. You have decent ways of getting vision as well. You've got observers and his Phoenix as well, so it's not too bad. Um, yeah, I mean, he's great. I'd say S tier.
Okay. Karax S tier. Third prestige, right?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Kerrigan. Where do we have him?
Kerrigan is okay. She has decent mobility for getting to the void reanimators and whatnot via
Omega
Omega Worms.
Worms.
Kerrigan herself is pretty good at jumping around.
Hippity hoppity, hippity hopping over hill and dale.
And dealing with the void reanimators. You probably just want to keep her army mostly at home defensively, some lurkers and things like that, lurkers and hydras, I'd say, at your bases to keep them safe, and you're mostly trying to get work done with Kerrigan. The mobilization wave does quite well against the slivers, so she does pretty well, but she's certainly not as good as some of the others, so I had her in B tier.
B tier. What do you think, Eveling?
Yeah, she's gonna be working the map kind of in a standard fashion, but she can stay very mobile, and yeah, dealing hunting down the void reanimators with Omega Worms is going to be very viable. And the self destruction, uh, the uh, lava lava bursts, you can avoid most of that just by hiding in the Omega Worms. Just make sure you have at least maybe 4 or 5 Omega Worms ready to go. Yeah, A to B, I think. I
All
would
right.
recommend P2 for this.
Really? Why second prestige?
Because she can stay mobile for that, and uh so she's not staying in one place while doing her zap deal, and it's it helps kind of keep the crowd in control. So when you got self-destruction around, it kind of limits everything converging onto your army.
Why not just use no prestige and
I know.
have the immobilization outright eliminate them and then have the explosion go off before unloading your army?
P2 is really
Uh,
fun.
yeah.
I'm not saying
But I
it's
think
not
you can
fun.
go P0 or P2.
All right.
There's definitely a mobilization wave is strong, but if you like playing P2, I think you could probably get it done with that as well. So that would be
Yeah,
my
it's an excuse to
input on
play
that.
P2 this week for sure.
All right. So both of you have him in B.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Kerrigan B tier. Nova. What do we have him?
Nova. So she has. It's kind of like Nova. You can work from home, but you have to go out into the. You yourself have to go out into the field, but we'll fly you first class all the way. So P3 Nova. Yeah, defend at home. Just send Nova out. Sabo drone. Keep on Sabo drawing the shards, and when nuke comes up, nuke it, airstrike it, and otherwise, it should be uh, pretty straightforward for her. In my opinion, I think A.
A. What do you think, Edwin Home?
Yeah, I think Nova's pretty good this week. I had her in A tier as well. Obviously not free like some of the others, but she has. I mean, if you pair Nova up with Karax, then there's your vision handled. Super cloak Nova. But yeah, she's pretty good. Airstrike is nice. Liberators are nice. Spider mines are nice. Yeah, I had her in A tier.
All right. A tier Nova. First prestige or third prestige?
You could do third. Yeah, I'd say probably would be better. First is technically fine, but I'd do third.
Okay. That's fine. Moving on. Raynor. Where do we have him?
Raynor is okay. I think he's very much just like turtle up with BCs and try to just do as much as you can with just the Hyperion and then finish up once you're maxed out with battle cruisers. And battle cruisers will do fairly well against the Void Reanimators. You can just Yamato them to deal with them quite quickly. and they'll be pretty good against any of the trickles. You can kind of split them up into your main and your natural. They have the teleport, but it's a slow startup on that. So yeah, that's always a little bit yikes. But I think you could probably get it done fine like that. I had him in C tier.
C tier. What do you think, Eveling?
Yeah. Raynor kind of work from home just by building up his BC fleet. Definitely get the afterburners that helps them avoid a lot of the self-destruction and mitigate the damage from lava bursts. Yeah, and trying to find the void reanimators. If you have a general idea of where they might be coming from, scans will be helpful after you get your economy going. Yeah, B to C sounds about right to me.
All right.
BC.
Both of you, BC. Of course. So B or C? Is he a battle or is he a cruiser?
I think he's a cruiser compared to like Kerrigan, you know.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, he's
So-
a cruiser.
Yeah. Raynor ends up in B tier.
That's why he likes his vulture bikes.
That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he's not a bike. He's a C thing. Whatever. Stetmann,
Cruiser.
where do we have him?
Cruiser.
Cruiser. Sure.
Step Boy is strong. Unfortunately, with self-destruction and lava bursts, that's going to be a little irritating for his satellite spread. But the good thing is once you overcharge it, the satellites become pretty much invulnerable. So just make sure wherever you're having to work with Super Gary, make sure you have overcharge ready so it prevents the satellites from going down. Yeah, the Zerglings are the Mecha Zerglings are great for just taking loads and loads of punishment, and recycling is great. Having the green zone is going to be definitely helpful for you and your ally, but he's definitely going to have to brawl his way through there. He doesn't have a lot of any work from home capabilities like Arcturus or Karax. So I say he is A to B.
A to B. What do you think, Edwin?
Yeah, he's quite good, but he's definitely not on level with some of the others. I had him in A tier. Yeah, I mean Gary's obviously quite good, and your satellites do give you decent vision, but yeah, it's a little questionable. The Zerglings are nice against lava bursts as well, but yeah, it's just not quite as free as some of the others. So I had him in A tier.
Okay. A tier. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, you can kind of just go P3. The Brood Queen's snipe ability is pretty good against the Void Reanimators. Your main problem is just getting going on this map, but then once you've got your bunkers fully set up in your main and your natural, the trickles should deal with any of the trickles from the Void Reanimators, and then, like I said, you can send out Brood Queens to deal with those. Getting out to the farther rifts can be a little bit of a pain with the lava burst and just the distance from your natural. So I think it's not, a free week for P3, and the startup is going to be potentially tough with Void Reanimators adding things in. So I had him in A tier, not quite S.
Okay. What do you think, Eveling?
Yeah, I do have Stukov in A to B, but I'd be leaning more toward the B side because so he has a slow startup. You have lava burst, self-destruction. That's going to be impacting your waves of infested quite a bit. It's going to take them even longer to get out to the slivers. You're going to have to probably even supplement your defense, so you can't do more gas Stukov. I would definitely suggest having infested siege tanks to help hold the line back at home, that you can actually have infested waves kind of build up and get that mass going out. But it's still, he's definitely less work than Raynor and Horner. So yeah. A to B, but yeah, more leaning toward B.
All right. Both of you have Stukov in B. Let's put Stukov in B. First prestige or
I had
third
him in
one? Oh, you did have an A. Okay. So A or B? I thought you said A or all right. So A or B?
I would say A. You kind of just shut down the actually difficult mutator here once you get going, and I think you'll be able to get going. I don't think it's like impossibly difficult. Like, there's some mutators where it's just like you're not going to get going as P3 Stukov, but this one's not that. And once you don't have to deal with void reanimators at all, lava burst and self destruction, you can just kind of you can micro the units around if you need to, and I think you'll just kind of push through. So I think he's better than like a Kerrigan as far as that goes.
What do you think, Eveling?
I I have a hard time biting into that because one of the things that would, if lava bursts didn't exist, I think I would be okay with A. But because lava burst is there, getting your infested bunker, you're limited in the amount of real estate he has. So you're limited to your expo and your main. I mean, you could try building out your bunker supply out into non-safe zones, but you're taking a gamble with that. So I don't know about that. And looking at what's in A, we have Artanis, Dehaka, Phoenix, Nova, Stetmann. I don't know if I would be comfortable having Stukov with them. With Alarak and Kerrigan, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
See, for me, it's you don't have to like max out on bunkers. You could drop, 10 or 15 bunkers in the natural, a few in the main, and then just dump the rest of your supply into liberators, and they'll do great against the slivers. So it's you don't need to have the ability to max out bunkers on this map. And it's not like your liberators are any worse with P3. It's just, typically you never bother. But I think just, like 20 some bunkers and which is what, like 80 supply, maybe even more than that, and then 10, 20 liberators, and you're going to do just fine. Like, you don't need to have that much real estate.
Good. That's exactly what I want to hear. I want to hear something more than just infested troopers and marines. So, yep. Okay. I'm okay with A.
Okay.
With that caveat.
All right. I guess that's fair. Stukov goes in A after all. Third prestige? Or first?
Yeah.
Third?
Yeah.
All right.
Third prestige is fine.
Thanks to the underlying
First
assumption.
is probably viable, but yeah, I think third's probably the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Swann, where do we have him?
So Swann has, one would say he doesn't have good means of vision, but you haven't looked at his factories. You send them out and you just slowly meander their way toward Amon's slivers and just keep on sending them. And then that gives you good vision for your laser drill. He has good defenses. And then when you get up to it, Wraiths are very good at taking down slivers and also flying around. And with factories flying around, spotting things, and you find the void reanimators, sniping them is very easy with Wraiths. So I'd say Swann is S to A.
All right. What do you think, Edmund?
Yeah, Swann is pretty darn good. He's not quite Karax level this week, but I don't think Karax is going to be an S tier, so I'm fine with Swann being an S tier.
Okay. Both of you say S tier. Let's put Swann in S tier. Prestige-wise. Second one?
0 P1. Yeah,
I
or
go
P2.
P2.
Yeah, second one. So you have better defense because the main one is reanimators.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on. Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus is really, really good because you can just kind of split 4 out of 5 of your outlaws out to defend each of the push lanes while still being safe from the lava burst, which is the only real danger there. And then you just have one outlaw kind of push out and kill everything on the map. and your other 4 can defend against the Void Reanimators. So he's really, really good, as per usual. There's nothing that really hurts him this week like we had last week. So I had him in S tier.
Okay, what do you think, Eviling?
Yeah, Tychus P2 is such a beast. SA, just be very, very mindful. Kind of like Abathur, if you have to do something where it takes your attention away from your outlaws and they're out in the non-safe zone, just have them either walk back or medevac them back. Don't take the chance that you look away and then 2 seconds later, Tychus is dead because Lava Burst decides to come up from under him when you're not looking. Yep.
Okay, Tychus S tier. Second prestige, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving on, Vorazun, where do we have him?
So Vorazun P3 time stop is great at taking down slivers. Just make sure you are using your Shadow Guard whenever it's off cooldown, so you build up that count. You can dart pylon wall, block your main, blocking the expo if you do take expo, and it'd be good if you do just for the extra gas, but not necessary. Otherwise, yeah, just wait for time stops to come up, and once all the Shadow Guard spawn out from it, then just right click shard and
Win.
just after that keep on defending at home. Yeah.
Letter.
So I have her probably same place as Artanis.
A.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm debating S to A to B.
Both are A though. What do you think, Home?
Yeah, I had her in A tier. Yeah, I mean, solid, solid week for Vorazun, finally. So,
All right,
yeah,
very
yeah,
solid. There we go. Yeah, not much to say. Just solid. Zagara, where do we have him?
Zagara is a little less solid. I had her in B tier. You'd have to be careful with the lava burst, but I think it might be a P2 or P3 week. Obviously, Zagara being able to deep tunnel around helps a lot with Void Reanimators, but also just like Corruptors and Aberrations are going to be a little less scared of things like Lava Burst if you go P2. I'm not sure. I think you could go either one. But yeah, I had her in B tier. I think she'll do all right this week, but definitely not stellar.
Not stellar. What do you think, Eviling?
I have Zagara from A to B. I agree with ET's assessment. P2 or P3 would be good to go for this. And then for defenses, bio launchers do great because they don't really take up in that supply, and they can hit out pretty far, hit hard, hit masses. Yeah, it's just going to be kind of a standard play with caveats of being careful of the mutators and then hunting out the void reanimators when you can. So I'd say yeah, A to B.
A to B. Okay, both of you have in B. Let's put Zagara in B. Prestige wise, second or third?
Yep.
All right, moving on. Zeratul, where do we have him?
Zeratul, the ever great mantra of cannon's good. Yeah, it allows you to work from home. Then you have army at base, or you could have them out with void arrays. Just be careful of how you deploy your void arrays because lava bursts do like to pop up underneath them. But otherwise, yeah, get vision of the shard. Watchers are great for that. The one thing to note about lava burst is it relies on pathable terrain. So you there's a lot of unpathable terrain that you can put your watchers in, and with their enhanced vision. STA.
S2A. What do you think, Home?
Yep, it's another Zera tools week. I had him in S. Yeah, just mass cannon, very good on the defense, very good on the offense, and yeah, I mean you could basically cover the entire map and vision without risking a single watcher with the increased vision range. So yeah, had him in S tier.
All right, S tier. Prestige wise, second one.
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. Do we have a double S this week?
Well, I think what was it? Karax and Arcturus would be.
Do you agree, Eveling?
Yeah, I would say Karax, Arcturus, and then probably Zeratul.
Zeratul? Double S?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you kind of don't care about 2 of the 3 mutators at all with him because you're only ever leaving your base with void projections and watchers. So I could see that. I think he's definitely. Well, I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, Zeratul, you can just deal with the void reanimators purely with him. It does feel like you're playing a little differently than you normally would. It's going to be a bit harder than it normally would be.
All it takes
mutator
is for you two to agree. If you two agree that he's double S, then in my opinion, literally doesn't matter.
Well, we know, but no.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
yeah,
aware of that.
he's pretty good this week, so I'm fine with the double S for him as well. Why not?
Yeah,
Alright.
I'd say if Karax is double S, then Zeratul's double S. That's my opinion.
And with the power of movie magic, we now have 2 double S tiers. Who's top of double S? Oh wait,
2?
3.
I
There
thought
we
we
go.
said 3.
Who's top of double S?
Arcturus.
Arcturus.
Of course. Then,
And then I'd say Karax above Zeratul, probably.
Correct.
all right. Who's
I
top of
agree.
S?
I would say Swann or Tychus, probably Tychus.
Yeah, I'm more toward Tychus.
All right.
And then Swann, and then Abathur, yep.
Okay. Who's top of A?
Artanis or Vorazun.
Yeah, Artanis, then Vorazun, then probably Dehaka.
Okay. And then,
And I'd say probably
Then Nova.
Maybe Nova above Fenix. And then I'd say Fenix. I think that's probably good. How it is.
all right. Who's top of B?
Kerrigan.
I'd say I'd like
or
to be Kerrigan above the
Zagara.
other 2. Yeah, I think Kerrigan's better.
Yeah,
And then
Kerrigan.
Zagara is better than
Kerrigan
Alarak.
first. Yep.
And then,
Zagara.
all right. There we go. And then top of C tier?
I think Raynor is better than Horner.
All right. There we
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
only 5 commanders below A tier. That means no synergies needed this week. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for an alt, please leave it in a comment. I will see you guys next time.